Hi, I'm Ben from HAYES Products. Today we're going to have a look at our backhoe range. We have three in the range, starting from the subcompact model, through to the medium and through to the large, which is the one we'll be using our demonstration today. Firstly, we'll have a look at the subcompact. So these are designed for tractors up to 30 horsepower, but when we're talking about subcompact, it's important to know what we mean by that. We're usually referring to a tractor with small wheels all round. As they have small wheels, they'll also have shorter lower linkage arms. So the distance from this top link here through to where your lower linkage arms come out is quite short. If we'll try to fit this model onto a compact tractor like this one, we're going to have problems where that top arm will be too short. Due to the larger tyres on the back of this, we have longer rear arms, so the subcompact model won't work. So compact and up, you can go for the medium or the large backhoe. Now we've covered what the subcompact model is for, up to 30 horsepower with your small wheels and short linkage arms, we'll have a look at the large. For demonstration purposes today, we're using the large, but to look at, it's very similar. You wouldn't pick it up on a video between the large and the medium, but the medium has 8 foot of digging depth versus the large at 9 foot. There is also more digging force on the large and the medium, and a bit less again on the subcompact. So just check our website for full specifications on that. Our medium duty backhoe is rated from 40 horsepower through to 60 horsepower, and for the large, 50 through to 80 horsepower. Regarding horsepower ratings, it's not about how much horsepower it takes to run the hydraulic pump. If we come in here and just have a look, we have a PTO driven hydraulic pump. So you're not worried about flow rates on your tractor's hydraulic remotes, or even if you don't have hydraulic remotes, it has its own pump. When you check the specifications on our website, you'll see the minimum horsepower requirements. We've only listed those based on what your tractor's 3-point linkage lift might be. For example, when we've listed the heavy model for 50 and above, it's based on this unit being 550 kilos. But in reality, even this compact tractor has a lift of 600 kilos, so lifting this backhoe, not a problem. And the PTO pump doesn't take a lot of power to run, so that's fine. By the time we add an operator to this though, we will be over the 600 kilos. We would have preferred to have used one of our larger tractors for this demonstration today, but it's out on site doing a flail mower test. So we're going to be using the compact 38 horsepower. But yes, it will lift it. But if you're using a tractor of this size, I'd recommend you step down to the 520 kilo medium backhoe. Once set up on your tractor, we don't need to raise or lower our tractor's 3-point linkage. So you won't physically be lifting up and down on your 3-point linkage. When you come to the site ready to dig, you just drop the stabiliser legs down on its own hydraulics and get ready for work. If you purchase one of our backhoes, it'll come to you 90% assembled. There'll be a few finishing touches you need to do, but we'll supply you with a detailed YouTube video on how to do this, and also some basic setup tips to your tractor. One of the parts of the setup is that it runs a lockout top link. So these bars through to the top link lock out your 3-point linkage movement, so you can't move your 3-point linkage up and down. This takes the strain off your 3-point linkage. And we use the stabilising legs on each side. This will lift the tractor level into position, ready for digging. We have buckets available from 9 to 35 inches. We also have ripping teeth available. All the pivot points running from anywhere that you see a pivot is greasable, along with all the rams, grease nipples everywhere, so you can keep your machine well maintained. Who are these backhoes for? Whether it's the subcompact, medium or large, they're perfect for small acreage and lifestyle properties. What should I expect from a tractor mounted backhoe? If you're comparing to a dedicated machine, whether it's an excavator or a backhoe, these run a much smaller hydraulic system, fairly basic PTO driven pump with a fairly basic valve bank. Not a lot to go wrong, quite a simple system, but there are differences between that and a professional machine. If you have used a dedicated professional machine in the past, you'll notice a tractor mounted machine won't be as fast or smooth as a dedicated machine. If your requirements are for commercial use and you're using a machine all day every day, This would justify the extra expense of buying a dedicated machine at significantly more money. If your purpose is for your own lifestyle property, it's hard to justify the extra expense and maintenance of a dedicated machine. A tractor-mounted backhoe could be perfect for you. Not quite as fast as a professional machine, but will get the job done at a reasonable price, as you will see in our demonstration. Common question is, do they run a backhoe or an excavator pattern? The answer is backhoe. So these two levers here just control your stabilising legs left and right. When we come down to the chart here, you'll see that moving this top lever, that's bucket uncurl, move it to the left, bucket curl, and from the top, we're digger out or digger in. Heading over to the left, we've got boom down, boom up, swing right, swing left. Paul's going to be our operator today on the backhoe. The PTO is already turned on and it's only on at idle. Idle speed will still be enough to operate the hydraulics. Once we start digging, we'll vary the PTO speed, anything up to 540 RPM. You'll notice that at lower RPM it's easier and smoother to control, but when you get into those heavy conditions and you need the extra power, 540 will give you maximum digging power, but just not quite as smooth as what it will be in the lower RPM range. So just try to find a good happy balance within that when you start digging. Arms are coming down now off those two levers. You just got to level up the tractor, ready for digging. Now we're going to start our demonstration digging a trench. We've got our PTO speed at only 350 RPM. So we still have a bit up our sleeve. If the going gets hard, we can go right out to 540. As you can see, we're in an area here with gum trees, so we're already coming through some roots there. So even at low PTO RPM, we're still getting the job done. Hope you enjoy our demonstration. We're not going to go to its full capacity of 9 feet deep today. We're on someone else's block, so minimal is good. But as you can see, it's in a fairly short time, dug a decent sized hole. We could continue on for a full trench. We've got more than enough for drainage or electrical or whatever you might be doing. As I mentioned earlier, that we're in an area full of gum trees. We've broken through roots right down through into the deep area of the ground. So yeah, for a lifestyle farm sort of unit, perfect. For more information and full specifications, see our website, hayesproducts.com.au. We freight 5 days a week at competitive rates to all states. Send us an email, sales@hayesproducts.com.au, or give us a call, 1300 442 937, 1300 4HAYES. Thanks for watching.